Hello there, and welcome to the nice background noise. Hello there, welcome to the Totally Levy Half Football Podcast. I am your host, Karl Levy. We are doing a live stream for the first time since we left a certain radio station, which I'm not going to say as much because they're still disloyal and fucking hatred from myself and a few others. But we are here as usual here tonight as well. We're going to talk about the preview games, the match predictions from the Premier League games this weekend, including tonight's game between Newcastle and Leeds. We also talk about some news with the two East Midland clubs going through a crisis. But furthermore, we'll hopefully get dug on later on. But furthermore, joining me is none other than Regan Wilson and Andy Rogers. Guys, how you doing?
Good, man, yourself?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Regan?
Just realised I did not take myself off mute. Good start. Nah, I'm very good, mate. Glad to be back on again and talk about some football.
Absolutely. And we are live as well on Twitch as well now as I started this week, so which has been huge to us. So we're now live on pretty much every single on YouTube, Facebook, and now Twitter and now Twitch. So it's really good to see that as well. So let's go with the first news as well. I'm going to talk about this. And the last couple of days, Regan, well, we didn't think we knew Nottingham were going to go down this road, but they have sacked Chris Hughton. Has this been coming from since the start of the season? Because he's not won any games, and they've been struggling not in the Forest.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by it, to be honest. The back end of last season, I know they struggled. They was down there most of the season, but I thought with a full transfer window, Chris Hughton, his first full season, you look at his record in the past in the Championship. I think he took Newcastle back up. He took Brighton up. I think he might have took Norwich up as well. I thought they'd be right up there challenging this season, but they've really struggled. I mean, I find it hilarious. They've spent all summer taking the piss out of the situation at Derby, and look at them. They've got 1 point in, 6 games now? And it has been coming because they're just looking absolute shambles. We spoke the other night about the leaked WhatsApp messages from Lyle Taylor. It looks like, I don't like to use this phrase, but he's lost the dressing room. He clearly has. The players weren't playing for him. And I think they're down tools, and ultimately, it's been coming the last few weeks. I think the late equaliser they got at Pride Park against Derby, I think saved his job. I think if that had stayed 1-0, I think he'd have been sacked for the international break. But coming back and losing back-to-back to Cardiff and then at home to Middlesbrough the other night, their own fans was singing you're getting sacked in the morning. So it was extremely inevitable. And Chris Hughton, he's still a good manager, but clearly hasn't worked out for him at Forest. Not a good fit for that club. And they'll be looking to pick up some points urgently because they need to climb out of trouble.
Absolutely. Andrew, with Chris Hughton has so much experience in the Championship, was this the wrong club for him going to Forest when he went there last October?
I think Forest are just a poison. I think they're a poison chalice. Their owners are just too snap happy to sack managers, not let them get through a tough phase. But going on what Regan just said about the WhatsApp messages, and if he's lost the dressing room, he's lost the dressing room. He needs to go. Once a manager loses that, it's a ticking time bomb. Not many managers get it back. But I watched the game on Saturday. I thought they played really well. But the minute Cardiff scored, you knew the tide had turned.
Absolutely, the tide has turned. We do know that there's been some movements going at City Ground, Regan. We're hearing that Steve Cooper, the former Swansea manager, is linked with a job. Chris Wilder was also one of the favourites as well. But do you see them going down with Chris Cooper? And if they do, would this be the right fit, with those young players that they have at Forest?
I think so. And you look at the job he did at Swansea for a couple of years. And I've got a mate who's a Forest fan, and he was saying, but Swansea weren't good to watch. Well, for starters, he got them in the playoffs. And look, Forest have got 1 point. They're at the Florida Championship. Don't necessarily worry about playing pretty football at the minute. They weren't exactly doing that under Chris Hughton. I've watched plenty of them this season. Their one tactic is smash it up top to Lyle Taylor. They play absolute porridge football, so it won't be a change for them. But I don't really think Steve Cooper's Swansea team were that bad to watch anyway. And I think if given time, he could really build something at Forest in the next couple of years. And I'd probably back them to stay up under him. But they are a shambles at the minute. They do need to go on a run. There's a lot of the season left. I don't think they will be down there when it comes to the end of the season. They might be down there struggling, but I do think they'll have too much quality to go down. You look at the team; they've got the likes of Lewis Graben up top, James Garner, Worrell, and McKenna at the back. Sandberg, good goalkeeper at this level.
They're absolute puddings, though. Scott McKenna's a pudding, man. And Joe Worrell, come on. They're not champions.
I just think
I don't rate either of them. I didn't rate McKenna when he was at Aberdeen, and I've seen enough of Joe Worrell when it was up here at Rangers. I think they're both awful.
Yeah, I've got us. I rate McKenna. I do rate McKenna, to be fair, but Worrell is building it to Premier League clubs at the time. You know, apparently Burnley were looking at him in the summer. I don't get that. I really don't. I just think he's an average defender at this level. But I just think in that squad, I do think they have got enough quality to climb out of where they are. But we've seen it before, teams who we think, you know, look, if we're talking Premier League terms, look at the Leeds team that you'd know well about, Karl, that got relegated. He'd looked at them and said that famous saying, too good to go down. But ultimately, nobody's too good to go down. So it is a worry for them.
Yeah, our own colleague Douglas, hopefully we'll have a debate before he does his live stream. He said he's not sure about Steve Cooper, and he said also he did well at Swansea, but he lost his way at Swansea. Andrew, do you agree with that? Did he lose his way at Swansea towards the end of last season?
The way Swansea ended up at the end of last season, and the way his sacking went about in the summer, you'd say he did lose his way. But Swansea's a hard job to go into. They've not done well since Rodgers and Laudrup were there. So, you know, money isn't exactly getting thrown about there either. You know, they got, how much did they get for McBurney a couple of years ago? 20 odd million?
About 20 million,
15,
yeah.
15, 20 million. Where's that been reinvested? I know Russell Martin's obviously got a bit of cash to get some players in now, but, you know, they're a work in progress. I think he's stable. I think the only thing he can do is stabilise Forest. Because right now, Forest are a massive sleeping giant. They've got that same thing with Leeds. Leeds were down there for a long time. Forest have been down there for longer.
I find it interesting that Forest and Derby, ultimately the two biggest clubs in the Championship by some way, are probably the two worst run clubs in the division. Which is sad to see, to be honest. Obviously, I'm not sad about the situation at Nottingham Forest, but in a way, if Derby were to go up to the Premier League, I'd sort of love Forest to go up at the same time and to see that East Midlands derby in the Premier League. It'd be such a massive game, and it is sad. It is sad for a neutral fan, especially, to see the state of two giant clubs, as you say, sleeping giants. Really, if somebody, you know, if those ran well and they put enough money in, they could do big things. But ultimately, both of them are an absolute shambles off the pitch, and well, on the pitch in Forest case as well.
At least Derby look half decent at times. You know what I mean? They've got a good bit of a squad there for me.
The club's in turmoil. You know, the squad's bare thinks we couldn't sign enough players because of the embargo. But ultimately, every game we play at a minute, we're fighting for our lives. And then that group of players, full credit to them, they're playing for that badge. You know, the other night, our goal got blitzed by West Brom, but we dug in there. Calarus maybe had his best game in a Derby shirt. It was fantastic, and we stuck it out, and we got a well-earned point because we're fighting every single game. And
when I seen the stats, I couldn't believe he got a point out of that. But
2 words, Calarus.
Exactly.
That's it.
Absolutely. We are going to go on to Derby now, Regan, because there has been some news earlier this week. You know, the situation with the EFL, they look like they're close to agreeing to a points deduction. It's going to be 7, which will make you go on -2 at the bottom of the table, replacing Nottingham Forest. Would that give you motivation now with the team now? If they get -2, they can kickstart the season, just make sure they stay up.
Yeah, look, I think we've got to accept to this point that it's going to happen. So I'd rather it come sooner than later. If we're getting a points deduction, I'd rather know now, and we know what we're up against all season. And do you know what? It could really, I mean, they're already fighting anyway. But I think it'll just unite the whole fan base and club, and it, you know, backs up against the wall. It's us versus the world. And look, I mean, it's going to be tough. Can we do it? We can, but it will be very tough with a 7-point deduction. I think somebody worked it out, actually. They did a study. It was average points required to finish 21st, so he's just staying up from the Championship. I think it was, 2004 to 2020. And to get to that, I think it worked out we'd have to win 2 every 5 games, which if you put it like that, it's achievable. But
It's doable,
it's
isn't it?
easier said. It is, but it's easier said than done almost when we've got, as I say, a threadbare squad. When it gets to the winter months, these games coming thick and fast, the Christmas period, games every 2 or 3 days. It is easier said than done because, like, you get momentum in a positive way, you can go on a run. You can get momentum that way in football as well.
Yeah.
So it's achievable, but with that deduction, I can't sit here and say I'd be overly confident, to be honest. It is worrying.
It is worrying indeed, and like I said, like what Regan said, Andrew, it is a bit. With Rooney being at the helm for so long, to keep them up just about last season, didn't know what the future is. Do you really think Rooney is giving every 100% of his all, to keep that club going? Because I know he's had to deal a lot behind the scenes over the last year or so.
From what I've watched and what I've listened to him, he absolutely loves Derby County. Went in there as a player. I think he's mentored a lot of the young players. Sort of kept them going himself when he was playing there. He's retired and kept them up. Rio Ferdinand actually went back sort of to the training ground last week, I think, on 5x5. And see the stuff Rooney's got in at the training ground for the training and analysing everything tactically, and I think he could keep them up, but he's right up against it, and you hope that he can get the best out of sort of Ravel Morrison, Kazim Richards. Is he injured?
Yeah, he's out. He's out for a couple of months. We was able to bring Baldock and Jagielka in on short-term deals till January because of the injuries to Bielik and Kazim Richards.
I seen the thing, I think it was you that tweeted it about Baldock's been literally saying, listen, I'm sticking around till I get a deal. And I think that's a great thing, and Baldock will work his absolute backside off there up front, and you hope sort of Jack Knight, when he gets fit and all that, can chip in. Tom Lawrence will score for yous. I would have liked to have seen you try and get Paddy Roberts back in, but obviously he's away to Genoa or someone from City. Some team City are linked with. But you lost a full squad in the summer there. Martin Waghorn and all that leaving. So
big loss, yeah.
Yeah, he scored goals for fun anywhere. But
yeah,
I don't know what Rooney's going to do. They're going to have to work a miracle, because he said himself it was an absolute miracle they stayed up last season.
If he keeps us up this year with all the shit he's had to deal with, he deserves manager of the season. Yeah, absolutely.
See, even as a United fan, right, I'd love to send him the likes of Mengi and Levitt and all that. Just give him everything he needs. Let him help him stay up. I think I said that a couple of times during the summer. Just give him anything he wants. I think Everton done that last year as well.
It's frustrating because the Mengi deal was agreed before the end of the season for him to come back for this season, but with the embargo, it's not been able to get done. But if we can, get the account submitted, if let's say we agree this deduction in the next couple of months, and let's say we get to January and we can sign players, the likes of Mengi, Dylan Levitt as well, it'd be a great signing.
Great player.
If we could
he's actually at Dundee United for the season. Just remembered there. He's up here for the season.
Well, if we could do 2 or 3 loan deals of that ilk, though, it could massively boost us for the second half of the season.
100%,
is it like a management thing, though, to get to sort of January, see where you are and what you can do with the embargo?
Yeah, well, if we're close to agreeing this points deduction, let's hope that we can just get this whole EFL controversy behind us and the embargo can be lifted, because if ultimately they're agreeing the punishment now, then everything they've got held against at the minute, such as not submitting the accounts to HMRC, etc., hopefully that's going to all be dropped because we're receiving the punishment, and then we can go on to sign players.
Because it's horrible to see. I mean, you look at going back to McLaren and all that, even some of Clough's football, when you said the likes of Johnny Russell. Derby have always been great to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Great fast flowing football and that. So it's not, I don't sort of mind seeing Forest in it, because it's Forest, whatever. But Derby, just because Rooney and that, I've got a proper soft spot. You know what I mean? It's a massive soft spot for me.
I think we're a club that are hard to hate, unless you're a Forest or Leeds or maybe a Leicester fan. I think most neutrals would say Derby are quite a likeable club.
Yeah.
Can't agree with that one, actually. So,
Mm.
well,
hard to hate, Karl. Come on, man.
No, I know it's true. It's true. You got a fair point with that one. Absolutely fair point. But all of a sudden, seriously, Regan, hopefully, with your other rivals, got to play Huddersfield this weekend, which is going to be interesting because they're not going to get a point tomorrow. Where's your team? Where's Derby? Who are Derby playing this weekend? So
we've got Stoke at home, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah. By the way,
they just got done, didn't they? Stoke.
Yeah, for that fiasco. What happened on the pitch side against Barnsley, wasn't it? Because they had that fight. There was a fight between Mike O'Neill and their manager.
Crazy. I just wanted to say a massive shout out, not in a good way, to Sheffield United. I've got my ticket for next Wednesday, £39, including booking fee and postage. That is an absolute disgrace for a championship game.
What?
That's not taking into account my train ticket or how much I'll spend when I'm there. £39. Crazy.
Regan, me and Karl support either ends of Edinburgh teams, right? We
Yeah.
don't even pay that to go to each other, mate.
I know.
We don't
Madness.
It's
even
true,
pay
actually.
Celtic or Rangers, mate.
I think it's despicable.
I thought there was a cap for away fans. 20's plenty.
Not in the EFL. I don't think it is. Only for the Premier League, but not for the
Is
EFL. I think so.
39 quid. You know you're a big deal when you're paying 39 quid to go, don't you?
Mate, my uncle is. I think he's going to West Ham away on Sunday for Man United. It's £25, and that's a London team.
Yeah.
Madness.
Plus bus, bus or train. You're talking about 100 quid on the train. You know what I mean? It's 39 quid.
Yeah.
Well, we're just coming out of a pandemic, People haven't got as much money as they used to have. A lot of people have lost jobs through the pandemic and everything. It's despicable. It really is. Football fans get utterly ripped off in this country. I've made the point before that in Germany, on a game day, let's say it's Munich v Dortmund, trains from Munich to Dortmund. If you've got a match ticket, you get your train for free. Yeah. In this country, prices go up.
The only thing I can remember a club doing in Britain, I remember Hibs doing coaches away through our company we were with, Marathon Bet.
Really?
Yeah, they done coaches for certain away trips and all that, and they had Hibs legends on the buses and that.
We used to do a road rider for every away game, but since fans have come back, since COVID, they're not doing it for some reason. I hope it's not because you can't social distance on a coach because you sat in a football stadium together. Come on, I hope the logic isn't that bad.
My missus is on coaches going up from Greenock to Glasgow every week to go to Celtic, so I don't think it's that.
It can be, because that does make no sense at all.
And this is the thing, what I found out as a Leeds United member, that they are doing this train tickets to London for 50% off, but you only can get it from Leeds only. For myself, who lives in Edinburgh, I can't even go to London game, I'm getting 50% off because of the member. So it is a bit of a disgrace in some ways.
LNER do deals to go to London.
Yeah, true, but they do it more. They do it more for the members of Leeds United. Though they're going from Leeds to London because it's one of their prime routes, as well as Edinburgh to London.
Yeah,
but they get it a lot cheaper rate than you get as a standard rate.
Yeah.
You know what?
Madness.
It's madness, absolute madness. We're just about to go on to
Gary Neville. Believe Gary Neville will argue with Avanti West Coast. If anyone's seen this the other day.
Gary Neville's been in the papers, but Cafu putting dirt on his name. I put a post on Facebook. I said, "Go back to bed, you Brazilian Bellerin." He tried saying that Gary Neville can't have an opinion because he's not won any of the big trophies. Well, everything with Manchester United.
I know.
Is this now a Manchester United channel? I'm just gonna let you two rant yourself out. So go ahead.
That's my rant over, mate. I just wanted to say that.
Fair enough, then. Fair enough. Right, let's go into the main debate. It's our predictions. And we just got some news from the Leeds United Newcastle game, So Doug has just messaged. He's coming in. Says no Jack Harris for Leeds, and his rumors that Rafinha has a thigh strain. So this Leeds are really a little bit short, not just in the defence, but probably in the wideouts as well too.
You said that on Tuesday, didn't you?
I did say that, and especially when we didn't get that especially upheld for Pascal Strike. But yeah, there's nothing we could do about it. It's a joke. But we are going to go to the game. Newcastle looked like Karl Dowell's back in the squad as well after he fit again after he missed out. Freddie Woodham is now going to be on the bench. Ryan Fraser is going to be back in contention. But the games with no Callum Wilson or Giorgio Salvi or Paul Drummond. And pretty much Diego Llorente, Roman Cochrane remain injured. And Forza is also sidelined. But Patrick Maffett is fit despite he suffered a hamstring trouble in the last game against Liverpool. Regan, it's a must-win game for Leeds this tonight, isn't it?
Oh, it's tight. Yeah, do you know what? I forgot it's tonight, Friday Night Football. Yeah, look, there's two Newcastles. there's Newcastle with Callum Wilson and Newcastle without. They're just a completely different team. I know they did score last week, but they don't look like scoring a goal without Callum Wilson in the side. They've got no sort of threat up top, really, in terms of end product. I do fancy Leeds to get the first win this season. I think Leeds are going to win 3-1 tonight.
Right, okay then. Andrew, you done your predictions for this game as well?
I'm going 2-0 Leeds, man. Newcastle ain't scoring. As much as users are about as slack at the back as they are going forward.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. And Doug himself is going for Newcastle 1, Leeds 0. Sorry, Karl.
It has got that sort of written over it. I can see where he's coming this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Karl. I hope Doug's prediction's right, mate.
Listen, it's a good thing we might be recording on Monday because my mum's birthday's on Tuesday, so I'm not going to record with you lot on Tuesday if you're not going to take the piss out of me. So we hopefully get this on the way.
Mate, when you're recording this, I've got to be doing the bars, mate. I'm not going to be in a very good state anyway, so it's all good.
That's fine, because I don't think I need you both, Andrew, with this one. So I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. Right, next game. I'm gonna have to go 2-1 Leeds actually with this one, even though we could get this win out of the way, and let's just kickstart our season. To hell with it. 2-1 for Leeds. Right, tomorrow's lunchtime game. Wolves against Brentford. Andrew, Brentford should have won. It was a close game between them and Brighton last week, but Brighton got the win in the last minute of the game. But Brentford, at the moment, this is going to be a tough game for them, isn't it?
Yeah, because Wolves haven't stopped creating chances in any of their games. Great create. I mean, this thing about Adama Traore not having any end products, a lot of nonsense. See if he had a poacher there, or Jimenez had got his form back, they'd have 2 or 3 wins already. But I'm going to go Wolves to get the first win. 1-0.
All right. So, Regan, yourself, Wolves could be unchanged for the game. Hopefully, Frank O'Neill for Brentford might start his game after he got COVID. Justice Silva remains long-term injury. Can you see a win for Brentford or not?
Well, on Wolves, I think City might have overtaken them now, but they had actually created the most chances in the Premier League in the first 3 games and not scored a single goal. And, Brentford have had an okay start to the season, but I just feel like this is the game that Wolves might discover that ruthlessness, and I think they're going to win 3-0.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 3-0 as well, too. And Doug said, is right, and he's on his team. Should have always win.
Mate, they should have done United about 4-0. If it wasn't for De Gea.
And do you know what? They battered Spurs as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how Spurs won that game. They were terrible.
Everyone hates Spurs as well, so
don't get me started.
I can't stand them, man.
And Doug is going for 2-0 for Wolves as well. I'm going to go probably 2-0 as well too. Actually, I think it's a one-sided game, to be quite honest. Yeah. Saturday kickoff at 3 p.m. Burnley against Arsenal. Arsenal finally got the first win, by the way, Regan. But call them Banter FC if we have to. But can they even get something against Sean Dyche, who's just signed a new long-term deal now? They're not
winning this game. Honestly, Chris Wood is going to absolutely bully Ben White and Gabriel. It'll be like, I don't even know if I want to watch this game back, because I'm against bullying. I don't know if it's fair to watch this game. It's not right, honestly. I don't fancy them. You don't fancy Arsenal going away to a team like Burnley, because against Burnley, I've said it time and time again, you have to earn the right to play. If you don't turn up and you're not bang at it, it doesn't matter what good players you've got. Burnley will punish you. You won't get a result against Burnley if you're not going to, be up for the fight, if you like. And I don't fancy Arsenal to do that. I don't think they'll lose, however. I'm going for a 1-1 draw, which is terrible for Arsenal because they really do need to go on a run in this next 3 or 4 games. I think they've actually got Tottenham in the next couple of weeks, so they want to go into that game in red-hot form.
Yeah, they do. And looking at the team news as well, Nathan Collins look like he's going to be coming back from his injury. Maxwell Cornet will make his debut for which he actually put out in his photo shoot, Umbro FC rather than the Burnley logo. But he could make his debut. Connor Roberts, Kevin Long, and Dale Stevens are going to be too soon to come back from their injuries. Thomas Partey only returned on the injury last week. He may be getting on the bench. Xhaka remains suspended. Elney and Rob Hood are still out with the hamstring and knee problems. Andrew, where do you go with this one for between Burnley against Arsenal?
2-1 Burnley. Mate, Arsenal are pony. Burnley haven't won Well, it's time to change that statistic, man.
It does. It is. Douglas, he's had to change that statistic.
Arsenal are a port side.
Arsenal finish top 10 this year for me.
No, I don't as well. And Douglas going for 1-0 with.
No, you know what? Right? Arsenal have still scored less goals than Ronaldo.
Hey, they've scored the same amount of goals as Ivan Toney, who was in the papers for dissing him this week. Fair play to him.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'll give credit to anyone disrespecting Arsenal's name.
Oh, yeah. Like Troy Deeney did a few years ago. Yeah.
Not got the cojones.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if Arsenal don't win that game, I will be spending my Saturday evening with a bit of AFTV and chill, not going to lie to you.
I don't even find them funny anymore. Honestly.
To be honest, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still worth a watch when they're getting battered.
Troops puts everything on for me. DT's a head case, but that's about it. Burnley are down this season out.
They lost the soul when they got rid of Claude. He was the guy.
Yeah, and
yeah, true. Actually, so Claude was
he passed away this year as well. So
I know,
really
what a
sad.
shame, man. Yeah,
but did he? One of the other guys from AFTV went left and joined. I think it was Troops gone to Barstool Sports as well.
Yeah, he's gone to America. Yeah. I think he still does like occasional appearances.
See the point Doug's just made about the capitulation. I totally agree with him because I watched that game on Monday, right? And see the minute Michael Keane scored, the Burnley heads just went, and it was 3-1, and it could have been about 5-1.
Do you still not just look at the Sean Dyche factor? Just think they're not. He's just one of them. He's like Tony Pulis. I don't see him going down with Sean Dyche in charge. And the spine of the team, Ward, Tarkowski and me at centre back, Pope, they're just a solid side, really. They're
going to get caught out. I think they're going to end up getting caught out one of the years anyway, because the challenges. I mean, Tarkowski should be banned for about 5 matches for the challenge on Richarlison on Monday night.
That was bad.
It was horrendous. He'd done him there.
He's not been banned at all, has he?
No. Nothing's been done. I'm all for a hard challenge, but he absolutely done Richarlison there.
There's hard challenge and then there's attempted murder.
There's a hard challenge and then there's assault.
Yeah.
Assault and battery.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right, next game on Saturday. Yeah, I do as well. I'd say Burnley 2-1 for that one, actually. I just can't see Arsenal really getting something I get at Turf Moor. I really can't. Yeah, just for a laugh.
On Saturday.
Next game, 2 promoted sides playing against each other. Norwich City against Watford. Team news in this one. Dimitri Gaios and Josh Shadder are back in contention for Norwich after they missed out with minor injuries. Christos Zimmerman, Sam Barry and Pismo Placetta remain out. Kiko Femmer for Watford returned to train after his fallen injury will be assessed. And Ben Foster's has overcome a similar problem, so he'll be back in the lineup for Saturday. And also, there's no game. João Pedro is still coming back from a knee issue. Gentlemen, this has got like a relegation 6-pointer between these two teams, hasn't it?
Second week in a row for Norwich after losing the relegation 6-pointer against Arsenal.
Oh, got to keep this going.
I've got to say, maybe it's a little bit delusional, but I try and put Norwich over a little bit. I do have a bit of a soft spot for them. I don't think they're going to be. I do see them.
They're a good club, aren't they?
Yeah, and I just feel like I don't get the feeling that they're going to be relegated by Christmas. I still think they're going to put up a little bit more of a fight. I think they might just nick this one 1-0.
Yeah, Norwich have lost 14 consecutive top flight games. Only Sunderland, 20 defeats between 2003 and 2005, have endured a longer losing streak.
That's worrying.
Yeah.
I can't really say about that.
No.
I'm going 2-0 Watford.
Yeah, Douglas can't see Norwich winning this one.
They're just pony, man. It's like you sort of feel ashamed when you see a team hammering them.
Can we just say though, the Watford manager, start playing Ben Foster. We need that cycling GK content.
Yes.
We need these match day vlogs with a GoPro in your net.
Yes, man.
Because me and Andrew were talking about that behind the scenes just before we came. Yeah, about his podcast. I thought, yeah, we do need a bit of that actually.
Oh, mate, he's a legend. It's an absolute. Yeah. I'd love to see more players doing that.
He'd be a dream to speak to on a podcast, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, he would be actually, hands down. Oh yeah, I would love that.
We're going to have to start annoying him.
We're gonna have to now. We have to get going and see if we can beg him to come over, because I think that would be entertaining. It would be a good joy to watch.
Guys, if this podcast gets 2 million likes, we'll get Ben Foster on.
Yes,
we can dream.
We could dream.
Karl, clip this up and tag him in this on Twitter. Let's just
I'm
go
gonna
for it.
do that.
See if he sees it.
Let's do it.
I'm going to do that. I promise you, I'll get that done during this weekend. I'm going to make sure that I clip him in. I will make sure that. But Doug is going for 1-0 to Watford. I think I'm going to go for 1-0 Watford as well. I just can't see this Norwich team, scoring.
Timu Puki's going to find the net. I'm just calling it now.
Yeah.
Honestly, Timu Puki's going to score.
He's a myth in the Premier League, just like Mitrovic when he was at Fulham.
Yeah, but he's a
myth.
He's not in the best team, though, is he? Do you not? I think Timu Puki, if he was in, let's say, a Leicester team and hit double figures,
he'd be like Jamie Vardy, wouldn't he? Be sort of
he would actually.
Jamie Vardy type, yeah.
He would be actually as well. I'm not going to lie with that one. Right. So the next game we're going to add on, and I forgot to add on my banner, just add it now, it's Liverpool against Crystal Palace on Saturday as well. No Firmino, he's still out with his hamstring issue, but he's back to training. Jordan Henderson will start in place of Harvey Elliott, who had a surgery, he's fractured and dislocated ankle. Against Leeds on Sunday, Edouard and Oles and Will Hughes are pushing for the first start. Milovic came off the bench after a form of absence, so he's been duly missed, but Is this really an interesting game for Patrick Vieira to go to Anfield after a bounce off a 3-0 win against Spurs, Regan?
Well, they've got all the, if you like, they've got a lot of positivity, I guess, around the club after a huge result against Tottenham. From a Liverpool perspective, I just want to say it's a massive boost for them that Bobby Firmino won't be playing, because that guy is finished. He is an absolute bomb. Honestly, a couple of people were calling that guy world class. Now, I know he did a job for them, but I'm sorry, a striker who's scoring 9-10 goals a season is not world class. He is simply not. But yeah, Crystal Palace, look, I'm sure they'll go into this game. I don't see them getting battered. I think they've got a lot of fight about them, and I think Vieira could have them well set up, but I do think Liverpool will have too much quality. I think they'll probably nick this 1-2-1.
Andrew, can you see any positive for Crystal Palace going into this game as well at Anfield?
Right. Clip me up about this. I think Edouard's going to go on a fucking goal scoring spree, man. I think him and Zaha are going to have a fucking field day. I think they're going to. Douglas, you can hate me for this. I'm going 3-2 Palace. I think it's going to be.
Yes. Do you know what? I think Zaha the last 18 months has been a bum, but he's started off this season in really good form. Liverpool have been good this season. I'm not going to take anything away from them. I totally disagree with you on Firmino, though.
I rate the guy. I really like him, man. Mate, see the work he does, right? Right. Listen, I'm a United fan. I'm saying this, so Doug knows I like Firmino anyway. Mate, he's not there to score goals, mate. He's there to pull everybody away so Salah and Mane can get in behind. And
why does Jesus not get the same praise then, Gabriel Jesus? Because everything Firmino does, initiating the press, everything like that, off the ball, his movement. I think Jesus is probably better at that. But Jesus gets slated for missing chance after chance, whereas Firmino doesn't.
Nah, mate, Firmino's just... Do you know I know something, right? If you watch Scottish football, right, Alfredo Morelos done the same all last season for Rangers. He only scored about 12 goals last season, right? Usually he scores 30 plus, right? And Rangers won the league at a canter. And I think Bobby Firmino and him are pretty similar when it comes to ways of play. I just rate him, man. It's... I like the work rate. I like he does all the dirty work. And I don't know,
I have rated him when Liverpool have been in the pomp.
Stats kill him, but stats don't mean anything with him. When you've got
no, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these who go off stats, but I mean, no. If this is the thing, I do rate the guy. Like when Liverpool playing at the best, he's been a massive part of that front three. You speak to Liverpool fans, they'll tell you, when Liverpool were winning Champions Leagues and winning titles, they'll tell you he's the most important one because he was the glue. My only issue is the fact that people call him world class. Yes, he does a good job. Yes, he's an important player. But a striker cannot be world class if you're not consistently hitting 20 goals. I absolutely love Anthony Martial. Love the guy. One of my favourite players. But I'd never try calling him world class because he's not shown he can hit 20 goals season in, season out. That's my point.
It's fair points, man. It's two sides of the same coin, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad you have a different opinion. Actually, it's interesting, especially as two United fans, to have this.
See, when I watch games, right, I see him being the pain in the backside, right? Because you know what Mane's going to do, you know what Salah's going to do, right? You know what Jota's going to do, but Firmino's the one you need to watch because, you know what I mean. He's the one who's dragging everyone out.
I think Jesus does that better, though. And I think that's why he plays centre forward for Brazil at times over Firmino.
He's got
that's fair.
It's fair point. It's a fair point because if for me,
I just don't see it with Jesus. I never have.
I think in this new role he's playing,
I see it. I seen it with Firmino before Klopp came in. When they played him as a number 10 behind Benteke. Number 10 behind Benteke. I don't know. Yeah. I suppose we all see different things in footballers. There's players that folk hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good debate about the situation, about, if you compare with Jesus to Firmino, because you know what? I can see why Jesus isn't in more of the team in the Brazilian national team than Firmino is in the starting 11. But I don't know why the Brazil coach don't see that Firmino. He does do roughly the same what Jesus does, but you don't pick him, But it's a tough one. It is an interesting, fair debate we're having about this.
I do prefer watching Liverpool just now with Jota, Mane, and Salah.
I think that's their best front three.
I think they're more dangerous in scoring goals because Salah's just turned into an absolute bagsman. I mean, 100 goals, he's the 5th quickest player to do it, considering he was a flop.
Yeah.
5 years in a row, he's, absolutely raked them, man.
I'd never disrespect Mo Salah, and to be fair, even Mane had a poor season, but I'd back Mane to get back to top form. Those two guys are world class, definitely. I wouldn't try and deny that. But Firmino, I think he's... Listen, like I said, I don't think he's crap. I just disagree with the world class tag. But there you go, two polar opposites, I suppose.
It is what we get here on a Totally Levy and Horne football podcast. We always get polarised in opinions between two fans who support the same club. So yeah, it is interesting with that one. But Regan, you go for 3-2 for Palace. Andrew, where do you see this one for?
No, it's Andrew.
I was you, Andrew. Sorry, yeah, you go.
I've gone 2-1 Liverpool.
It's going to be a goal fest.
I'm going to go 3-2, but to Liverpool, because I think Liverpool could do what they did against AC Milan. So I just see 3-2 to Liverpool actually this weekend. I really can. Right, next one is Man City against Southampton. What the comments we saw earlier today from Pep Guardiola. Oh yeah, we need fans. We need fans at the stadium. All right, where's your fans?
Mate. I've been in that stadium when it's sold out. There's only one problem. It's for the Stone Roses.
Really?
Yeah, man. It was there. 5 years ago. There's my United flag.
Brilliant.
They're my United scarf.
No.
Played.
I'm sorry, but I was having a discussion with my pal who's a City fan, and I said, look, if we're talking about the team, yeah, one of the best teams in the world. You know what? Could win the Premier League, could win the Champions League, could win everything this season. But when you can't sell out for a Champions League game against a team like RB Leipzig, and PSG will be the same.
Which never have done since they started playing in the Champions League. They never have done.
No, and that is why they can't, in terms of, as a team, yes, but as a club, they can't be spoke about in the same breath as Man United, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Liverpool. I mean, Chelsea. I think Chelsea. I watched a bit of that on TV the other night against Zenit. I don't know if it was sold out, but it looked full, and that's only against Zenit. Chelsea would be sold out against a team like Leipzig.
Arsenal are still selling out, and they've got the most expensive tickets
in the Premier League,
and probably in the world. And they still.
Do you know what?
Out.
You'd have to pay me £90 to go watch an Arsenal game. I won't put myself through that crap.
But you know what I mean? No, I totally agree. They're absolute Mickey Mouse as a football club. They always have been. Salford City sell out. You can get Salford City 60,000 fans in there.
That's a good little shed. That, to be fair, I went up there in pre-season, and to be fair, for a League Two ground, they've not done a bad job. And there's plans to expand it, so fair play to G-Nev 2 and all the other boys, I suppose.
Yeah, actually, I have to give fair credit to them as well. But going to the team news for Man City, they look like they're going to get Kevin De Bruyne back and hopefully Phil Foden, but no John Stones. And Yeti Boy just come in a message. Yeah, I 100% agree with that one, Yeti.
They should never
loyal
have
fans.
That 60,000, man. Never. I've seen everyone saying that. I've seen both Gallagher say that, like, what we upgrading to 60,000, get the 40,000. Because if there was the need for 60,000, there'd be fans standing outside for tickets.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And do you know what? The fan base is growing now because naturally, as a club, when you're winning things for years, you're going to attract more of, the younger generation. And as the years go on, your fan base will grow. But ultimately, a lot of the City fans, especially the diehard, they've got that strong core of local Mancunians. They're not a massive, worldwide team yet. They will become that if they carry on, being as dominant as what they have been.
I mean, who's their biggest fans? Johnny Marr and the two Gallaghers. Realistically,
there's Freddie Flintoff, Ricky Hatton.
Freddie Flintoff's a City fan.
Yeah,
I thought he's Stockport County or something.
No, he's a huge City
Ricky
fan.
Hatton, obviously the Hattons. That's what I mean. Like they still got. You're right. They do still have to get it built up.
True.
Yeah.
Can they get there? I'm not sure they can get there anywhere near the United City, United, Chelsea and Arsenal.
Not United, no. I think it'll take time, but I mean, you even look at Chelsea. I mean, I know they only started winning leagues when Mourinho came in, but for a good few years before that, there was a consistent top 4 team. City only started becoming that about, I think it was 2011 and 2012 was the first 2 years where they finished top.
Doug, I saw the picture on your profile about that today, and I was laughing in my head and thinking, just like, yeah, Polly's going to mention this later on tonight. I was like, and you mentioned it. Thank you for that.
Brilliant.
Oh, absolutely brilliant.
Embarrassing.
But
man.
It's embarrassing. And just before we get to the predictions, Southampton without Theo Walcott and Stuart Armstrong, but Shane Long is back in contention after he tested positive for COVID, and Will Smallbone resumed training, but he's been out for 9 months with a knee injury, but he's lacking match fitness. But yeah, Pep, dominating the news about that as Dealey Smith. Yeah, not a surprise. It takes the supporters club to complain about it, saying stick to coaching, but he's still
Did you see his response to that?
I saw the response.
I'll step aside if you're not happy. Pep, City were there before you were there, mate.
Yeah, but come on, City fans are not going to turn on Pep. They're never going to have another manager like that again. It's their Fergie.
You can't come out with comments like that being a football manager at any club. That's a joke. And that, to me, if I was a City fan, I'd be like, right, do you really give a shit? Or are you just here for the oil money? You know what I mean?
But
Mancini was an absolute don there. Pellegrini was a don there. They shifted them out quick enough.
Pellegrini was actually, for as much as you look at it, 3 trophies in 3 years, he wasn't really that bad. I don't think Pellegrini ever had the love of the fan base like Mancini and Pep.
No, he did. No, he didn't.
Mancini's a don there, and they shifted him out quick enough. You know what I mean? So I think Pep's got to watch what he's saying, because he's saying come in and I'll leave. I'll go if you want. Then fucking go, mate.
Come to United, you can carry all his bags for him.
I wouldn't even have him there, mate. I honestly wouldn't.
To be fair,
I'd rather have. I prefer Klopp, man.
At the time when Jose came to United and Pep came to City, for as much in retrospect I'd rather had Pep, at the time I always used to say that Jose was the number one guy that I'd have at United, and obviously how wrong were we?
Thing is, I'm pretty sure that weekend of the Roses, Mourinho got announced at Old Trafford, and I was actually down at the stadium where everyone got ushered away as this big black Bentley came in. And I'm like, no way is that Jose. And obviously, get back to the hotel. Oh, Mourinho's been announced. Totally missed him there.
Absolutely. So we do know that Doug is going for 3-0 City. I'm going for 3-0 Man City. Andrew?
4-0 City.
Regan?
Yeah, still comprehends. I'm going for 3-1. Maybe Southampton might just nick one.
Oh, after Big Pellegrini was involved in the fourth class, it was such.
Do you want to know something, right? Celtic were always going to get hammered last night because of the way they defend. They're great going forward. But that Betis team's had some money spent on it as well.
Yeah, quite decent money as well.
Spent on it.
Yeah.
Celtic done well to keep up with them.
Still couldn't beat Derby at Pride Park.
Yeah.
I don't think. Just things United do.
Absolutely. Douglas got some breaking news that Kingsley Coman, the Bayern Munich winger, has undergone heart surgery. This has just been announced in the last few moments. This is really
what?
Yeah, that is just surprising. I did not expect this news at all coming from Germany as well. So that is interesting. So he found there was a minor irregularity found in his heart. So he just had a minor.
That's so common. It's so common with footballers. Common.
Daily Blind, same thing, and obviously Ericsson.
Yeah. Absolutely. So he said the Sky Sports has said the French international has gone on a minor operation following the discovery of irregularity. Will now spend 10 days to 2 weeks recuperating. The doctor Julian Milan said that he's doing very well and he's little wound pain. Once the wound is healed, he's able to start rehab training. It won't be more than 10 days to 2 weeks before he's back in full training. So he's going to miss the next games against Bochum and Forest and Bundesliga, and potentially the next Champions League game at home to Dynamo Kiev. And he has been on Man United's list, for many top clubs this past summer.
Allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. So Yeah, that is the news from Germany coming out with that. But
That's
Yeti
horrible.
boy, boy said Pep probably wants to get sacked so he can get all that money for his contract. Does he
Yeah,
want
I
to
think
manage an international team?
he's always said he'd love to manage the Spanish national team, isn't
He said the
But I
Spanish,
think
the Brazilian as well. Yeah,
he's always
He
he said a
mentioned
few.
Brazil, didn't he?
Yeah, he mentioned Brazil a few weeks ago. Yeah, and he was doing a promotional sponsors big chat, and he mentioned Brazil.
that's a bit
Strange.
of a weird. That's a weird flex, but okay.
I see Spain probably being his next job, to be honest, after Enrique. I think he might take a year out after City because it's been a long job and it's 6 years. Might do the same as what he did when he quit Barca.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, who definitely knows? Next game, Saturday evening kickoff between Aston Villa and Everton. Everton come off of that huge win 3-1 against Burnley on Monday. Hopefully, there could be recalls for Aston Villa for Amy Martinez and Emi Bereda, who are flying back after completing their 10-day quarantine as well. Also, Dominic Calvert-Lewin faces another fortnight out because of his thigh muscle problem. Delphic's injured, and James Rodriguez's fitness will be assessed.
He's never going to play for Everton again, man. No,
Yeah,
he wasn't involved during pre-season, so why is Benitez going to bother? Pay up his contract and let him go. I feel sorry for him, but his comments were terrible during pre-season.
Yeah,
Terrible mentality.
Actually. Yeah, terrible mentality. Yeah, I can't argue with that one.
Why not be like Phil Jones? Somehow got 10 years at Man United. I'm coming out with bombs today, by the way.
I know you are. I know you are. Bloody hell. Right, well, let's go to this result because Aston Villa, did not have a decent game in the last game, but they have been unbeaten in 4 matches against Everton since the promotion back in 2019. They've only won 2 of the previous 50 league meetings, but Everton have won their past 6 visits to Villa Park. So, who do you fancy this one, Regan?
I actually thought Villa played quite well against Chelsea for a lot of that game. Mendy was man of the match for a reason because he had to make 4 or 5 big saves, to be honest. And I see this season with fans being back, I actually can see Villa Park being a bit of a fortress for Villa where they might pick up most of the points. And overall, barring the Watford game, the opening game, I have been quite impressed by them in the start to the season. So I think I think it'll be quite a good game, actually, because Everton have had a good start as well. It's 2 decent teams with I don't think there'll be more than 10 points separate these 2 sides at the end of the season. But I feel like in front of that Villa Park crowd, the firepower they've got with Ings and Watkins up front, Buendia if he's back, I feel like they might just have that little bit more firepower in this particular game. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Villa.
Okay. Andrew, yourself, who are you calling on this one?
I'm going to go with Desmond here. I'm going to go with 2-2 because both teams can score and neither team are too great at the back just now. So,
Tyrone Mings last week.
You know what? I can't stand the guy.
Bloody hell's a bit personal.
No, I can't stand the guy. No, this goes back to his shit with Zlatan years ago, man. He's
Yeah.
Right? And see if Zlatan got hold of him, we'd have killed him. Right? He's a bang average footballer, man. Get fucking Tuanzebe in at the back with Konza.
I hope he does well. I think the Tuanzebe loan is one where I don't think it necessarily is the beginning of the end. I do think if he has a great season at Villa, I think there's a chance that we might want to bring him back if he does well for them,
But no, it's going to be a goal fest, man. It's going to be 2-2. I think it's going to be a cracking game because both teams just see if Benitez changes to that 4-3-3 that he did against Burnley. They'll score for fun, and Gray's just turned into some player under Benitez, Townsend, and that.
Is this not the most played fixture in the First Division?
In the Premier League?
Probably, yeah.
I think just First Division in general, I think it's the most played fixture.
Because Everton have Everton ever been
relegated? No.
They've never been relegated, have they? And
No, never been relegated
once. And that was a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Everton was part of the original Big Five, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's interesting with that one. So
that'll not be far off the truth.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It's a good point because they were one of the few clubs that wanted to break away from the Premier League. So they were at that time the top clubs in England. So yeah, no, it's a good fair assessment with that one. For me, with this one, I don't know who I go for. It's a tough one to predict. Actually, you're right about there's going to be goals for Ford and Andrew with those two teams because they can't defend properly at the moment. I have to go for a 2-2 draw because I just can't see anything.
Boo! Sitting on the fence. Get out.
I have to say, hey, it's my show as well, so
his show he'll do what he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I could be wrong, right? But I'm gonna sit on the fence and just stick with the 2-2 draw because I just can't see these teams getting a winner in the game. I really can't at this weekend.
If there's a winner in it, it's Villa for me. But I just big Ings and Watkins up front. But I'm just going with my gut with it.
Fair enough, right? Fair enough. Let's get into Sunday's games. Brighton at home to Leicester City. News from Brighton as well. From as well. No, Adam Webster's sideline after sustaining a house injury during the win at Brentford last weekend. Pascal Gross is continuing to self-isolate, but Mpeyu and also Dan Burn could be involved. Leicester will be without Johnny Evans, who sustained a foot injury on last night's game in the Europa League against Napoli. Who'll go to first? Andrew, we talked about Leicester, being that the club that run well. We talked about the training ground looks fantastic and all that stuff the other night. Yeah. Do you think they could have done better last night against Napoli to try and win that game?
Napoli are a good team, man. Napoli are a good team. I fancy Brighton to do 2-1 here. I think they're going to be knackered. Thursday, Sunday football is never good for teams.
No, it's not. And Leicester did had that last year as well. His situation as well too. Regan, no Perez for Leicester. He's serving a 1-game ban. How huge is that without having him? Because he's that can be that one of those different makers in that Leicester side.
Well, yeah, you want as many options as possible. He's a player who can come off the bench at least and contribute. I actually sort of agree with Andrew. I think Leicester exerted a lot of energy into that game with quite a strong team out. And Brighton have looked really good so far this season. Yeah. They've had a good start. I like Brighton. I think they might just edge this one 1-0. Leicester, I think I said this on the last show, they need to start playing Iniacho. I don't know why that guy's not in the team yet. After his form from sort of February onwards, I really don't understand it, to be honest. And they will need to, freshen things up in the coming weeks. Games are going to come thick and fast. Europa League, Thursday nights. Unfortunately, me and Andrew, through watching United over the years in that pub competition, we know how strenuous it can be.
Yeah.
Especially under Mourinho, by the way. Holy shit. That was bad, that first year. Don't get me wrong, we won it. But it was like 1-0 away to Celta Vigo, and we played 10 men behind the ball after Rashford scored his free kick. And you're sitting going, I seen a joke on Twitter. Yeah. We're going to have Champions League Varane playing Thursday night football after Tuesday night. Oh, man.
Please, no.
I know.
Oh, bloody hell.
I've got to say, I love Brighton. I do. I love the way they play football.
They've looked so good this season.
Yeah. Graham Potter's their manager.
Last season, I've spoken about it time and time again. If they had a clinical striker, there would have been nowhere near down there. And
top 6.
Top 6? I don't quite know about that, but the relegation.
See if they've got a striker. They create so many chances.
I do agree.
Goals and, they're not bad at the back.
But they did top the expected goals last season.
Shane Duffy has came back from Celtic looking like an absolute plum. And he looks, prime John Terry.
He was a bum at Celtic as well.
Yeah. No, I just think, I said this on Tuesday night, Messi, Neymar and Ronaldo could have went to Celtic and looked like bums last season.
He did say that, and that is probably
I don't know.
I fancy Brighton just with the exertions and all that in Europa and the 2-2 draw.
Yeah, fair
I
enough.
agree.
I agree.
Karl?
I think I'm going to go with Bill. I think I'm going to go with Brighton. Sorry, winning 2-1. Actually, I think Leicester's just going to be so tired, so exhausted. The energy that they put in last night, which they didn't need to in most of the ways. But I think Brighton looked so decent this season. I have to give fair credit to Graham Potter. After last season, it was so tough for them, and a fair play to them. They started well. I think it's going to be 2-1 to Brighton. I really do. Right, to the penalty game. Your boys, guys, they Manchester United away at West Ham. Mika Antonios is 7-1 game suspension after sent off during last week. No, Winston Reid is the only injury absentee, but the squad could be rotated after Thursday night's win last night against Dinamo Zagreb. Man United got no injury concerns.
They rotated last night.
Well, that's what they're going to rotate again for the full strength.
Massive rotation last night.
Massive rotation, yeah. And Man United got no injury concerns. Cavani expected to resume training next week, and Scott McTominay could feature following groin surgery. Who do I go to this time?
And the big news: the Prime Minister is back in training. Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
However, we do not want him rushed back. He can take another 6 weeks out if he needs to.
We're not, no disrespect to the guy, but it's not like we desperately need him with the amount of options we've got. Anyway, that's not a knock on him. Exactly. That's more
I think
a reflection of our squad.
I think it's a reflection of the squad and, the way we are actually playing. I'm not taking anything away from West Ham. They've been quite good to watch this year. But Antonio being out is a massive loss for them. Because who are they going to play up front?
Well, that's a good question because they've tried. It could be Behemoth. This is good. It's a tough one with that one because West Ham don't have an out-and-out striker, and they've been doing.
They let Haller go.
Who scored 4 goals for Ajax the other night? Yeah.
I think they might play without a striker. To be honest, they'll probably put someone like a Jared Bowen up there or a Lanzini.
Yeah.
So I don't see who else they've got. To be honest,
masterclass 3-1. He's going to score.
Do you know what?
He's going to score 2 or 3.
I hope you're right. I'd love to sit here and say 3 or 4-0, but I actually feel like this might be quite a tight game. West Ham are a real top side these days. They have had that Thursday night game, which could give us the edge. I do think we will win it 1-0. I think it'll be a Ronaldo goal. Obviously, anyone who plays Fantasy Premier League, if you haven't got Ronaldo as captain, you're an absolute clown, to be honest. You didn't play him?
I don't play it at all.
Oh, you don't play it? Fair play.
Because I get to about this point in the season, right? And then I forget about it. How many times have you done Fantasy League, Karl, right? And you look at my team like, he's not touched that for about 3 months.
Yeah, that's true. I have been in that situation as well. Yeah, so
I just forget about it. And by the time the season got going this year, I was like, oh, whatever.
To be honest, I used to it. Now I've actually set up a league table. Like I've got to motivate. I want to win everything I play. I'm one of them. I'm not here to finish second. I will message Karl abuse about how shit his team is on a weekly basis.
Yeah, he has done actually.
But no, Ronaldo. Look, just every game we go into, I fancy Ronaldo to nick a goal. So yeah, I think it'll be a tight and cagey game. I don't think it'll be easy for us, but you'd have to fancy us 1-0.
Especially the way we lost that on Tuesday night. I think the way everyone's came out. By the way, I hope Jesse Lingard's not mentally damaged after Tuesday night.
I hope he starts. I hope he plays.
So that Ollie starts him.
He looked really good when he came on. Yeah, and Sancho, I'd give Sancho 90 minutes in the League Cup game to build his sharpness up. We don't want to keep throwing him in when. No, because he's not ready, and there's plenty of games coming up where he can get game time. I was disappointed during the international break that he had to pull out of the England squad because I'd have loved for him to get game time with them to build up his minutes. But yeah, I'd love to see Jesse start.
I don't want him anywhere near Southgate because he just hung him out to dry at the Euros for me. Hung him and Marcus out to dry at the Euros. I hate Southgate. Let's not even get me started on him, man. I hate him. And it's not because he's England manager, it's the treatment of United players he's had. leaving Jesse out the Euro squad, which was abysmal. And he took Marcus when he didn't need to take him. Marcus could have went and got his surgery and been back for the start of the season.
As much as I had Jesse in my squad, can you say it's abysmal when we lost when we got to the final and only lost on a penalty shootout?
Because we're always losing in a penalty shootout.
But that's not South.
I think Southgate was negative in the game. He only brought Sancho and Rashford.
You can say that, but ultimately, though, we did get to a final for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I think me and Karl as Englishmen, I think we've probably got carried away with Southgate mania. So
no, we did.
We're not really going to be too critical now.
Karl didn't get too carried away. He still calls himself fraud.
No, before the tournament, I did. But after the final, he changed my mind completely. I don't see him as fraudgate anymore. I really don't. As long as as long if for the World Cup next year, as long as he picks the white squad.
Got a question for you, right? Southgate gets given that job after, was it Allardyce?
Yeah.
Allardyce's mess up, right? Go and tell me what actual football club will want Southgate. Elite football club.
Yeah, but it's mate. Honestly, it's different international. I don't think you can compare.
But what I'm saying is, right, if he's that a good manager, right, he's got a great coaching staff there with him, right, and I think they do a lot of the work. He's just the front man for it. But I don't know. He's managed what, fucking Middlesbrough.
But honestly, it's like people say about Ollie, or you at Cardiff relegated. I've used this analogy before.
Right. Yeah.
You can get a better looking girlfriend, but will to make you happier. I feel like Gareth Southgate as England manager, he just fits that role like a glove. I mean, it's the first time. Yeah. I mean, Karl, you're a little bit older than me. It's the first time in our lifetimes that really an England team has been likeable under Southgate.
Yeah, it has. It really has, because if you could say that to what happened to Germany over 10 years ago.
First time's just sort of 98, isn't it?
Yeah, roughly around 96, 98 to roughly the time. You can say the same thing what happened with Germany when Klinsmann left and they got Joachim Löw, and they became a lot more likable over that period of time, and until when they won the World Cup in 2014. And then after probably 2016 Euros, and they haven't been the same. So it's kind of like, still, but we're hopeful we don't have that scenario with Southgate. But like I say, I think he's more better as an international manager than club manager. And you could say the same for Joachim Löw at the time. Yeah, I do.
Listen, I could be completely wrong, man. I'm a Scotsman, so I've got that with me.
Germany was likeable until Joachim Löw started putting his hands down his pants.
And then putting his fingers up his nose, yeah. So, but it is
despicable.
Thing, right? I think this is one of the best England teams since the likes of '98. Just some of the players, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, even look at someone like James Maddison. He's absolutely nowhere near the squad. He's a brilliant player. And I agree with him not being in the squad because we've got that much quality in front of even guys who are that good.
Mount's your man in the 10, though, for me. Mount or Grealish.
First name on the team sheet for me, Mason Mount.
Yeah, I do as well, too.
We've got completely sidetracked here.
We have, and I think it's a good thing as well. Yeah, it's giving me time to think about this prediction as well, actually, because I did want to make sure I get this right. But I can see the pros and cons.
Stalling here.
3-1 United.
I'm probably going to say 2. Yeah, I know.
Because last year's game when West Ham took the lead and we came out, we were the second half team last season. But it's a Ronaldo factor. I'm getting lost with it.
Well, the thing is, right, David Moyes has not won any affiliate games since he left Manchester United against. When he's been in an opposition team, he's not won 30 games since he left the role, since he lost his job at Manchester United. Looking number 13, I feel like there's something might happen with this one. You get that sense feeling when it goes to that certain number. I just feel like West Ham could. I don't know if West Ham will be full strength.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
We've lost Regan.
Hopefully we'll get Regan back. But I'm going to probably say 2-1 to West Ham, actually. Listen, I'm not going to go with you lot. Listen.
No, you can't. You can't as a Leeds fan. You can't do it.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it most of the time, you know. So
Here, your lineup should be up soon.
yes, I know my lineup should be up soon. I hope I'll get to see
No,
it
it should
soon.
be up just now.
Right, I'll get up there because I want to look
No,
at
no,
the
I've
team
got it.
news now.
I've got it.
Go on then.
So Newcastle, Karl returns in goal. They went with a back five of Manquillo, Clark, Jamal Lascelles, Isaac Hayden, and Matt Ritchie. 4 across midfield: St. Maximin, Longstaff, Willock, and Miguel Almiron. And up top, they've went with the absolute Huddy and Joelinton.
Oh God! Right.
Leeds team.
Let's go for this. Messier.
Dallas, Aylan, Cooper, Firpo. You play as a midfield 5, don't you? So
Yes,
Calvin
with
Phillips is
Phil.
sitting. Rafinha, Klitsch, Rodrigo, Dan James makes his debut, and Patrick Bamford up front.
Quite looking forward to watching Dan James, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
I never wish anyone well going to fucking Leeds, but that lad, for what he's been through, and good servant to United, I wish him all the best. I hope he absolutely smashes it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm hoping this game.
You know what? I'd love him to smash one in for 30 yards tonight. Really would.
I'm praying. I'm fucking praying for that miracle.
Mate,
He does that.
the thing is, who you're talking about a Rodrigo or Rafinha as a 3.
Yeah.
With James, it sort of looks like that with clicking Calvin Phillips like that.
Well, that's what we say. If Bielsa's going to do his 3-3-1, then you put James on that right, and then it kind of would make sense in a way. But with Bielsa, how he plays, he's always going to rotate between Rafinha and Harrison and Dallas and James for certain games. And
Dallas is at right back tonight.
Yeah, because he can play it right back. Centre back, because we've got no cover in that. Centre back.
Will it be Aylan at centre back with Dallas at right back?
Yeah. That's what they're saying on Sky Sports.
All right. So going to the final game, and Sunday's half-hour kickoff between Tottenham against Chelsea. Oh, I have to say, Tottenham look after what happened last week to Spurs. That 3-0 drubbing, and then Tanganga getting sent off so badly
man. I remember your tweet last Sunday.
Last Saturday about it, yeah.
Saturday,
I said that, yeah. I don't know.
10-0 Chelsea, this one. 10-0 Chelsea. Honestly, Tottenham, the real Tottenham's back. For the first 3 games of the season, I don't know who these imposters were, but I certainly wasn't buying into it, even beating City.
That was the remnants of a Pochettino thing.
Yeah, it was... I mean, they just had a few twilight games, didn't they? The real Tottenham's back. Now, in all seriousness, I do think Chelsea will win this one convincingly. I don't think it'll be a good watch for Spurs, seeing Chelsea roll up to their own patch and turn them over. I think it'll be a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Chelsea, serious team. Honestly, Chelsea are going to be right up there challenging. Coddy said on the Pub Talk Football podcast that anyone who finishes above Chelsea will win the league, and I certainly can't really argue at that point. The way they've started the season, man, they're solid, they're difficult to play against. They've got a class keeper in Mendy. They've got an absolutely brilliant defence. They create chances. They keep the ball well. They're not going to be an easy team to play against this season. I'm certainly not looking forward to playing them, and they're going to have far too much quality for Tottenham, especially that weak Tottenham backline. I think Romero needs to come in if he's fit. Is he fit for this one?
No, he's still remaining. He's remaining in quarantine. So Romero's still out. David Sanchez still in quarantine. So is Lo Celso. Eric Dyer, some year have doubts with the injury, and no Lucas Moura and Stephen Bergwijn as well. They're both out with injuries as well.
That's a lot of injuries. It's a lot of players missing, rather. Yeah, I just cannot envisage. I know you get shot results, but I can't see Spurs upsetting Chelsea. I really can't. Harry Kane doesn't look interested. I hope he comes into form. He's in my fantasy team. I do think he'll come into form as the season goes on, and he will score goals. He will probably get close to 20 Premier League goals again. But right now, you can just tell he doesn't want to be at Spurs. And can you blame him? I certainly can't. Who would want to be at that Tim Pot club playing not just Thursday night football? They're playing the Thursday night B leagues in the bloody. If we're calling the Europa League the Emmerdale Cup, Jesus Christ, he's playing in the Hollyoaks Cup. So yeah, a lot of sympathy for Harry Kane. And Spurs, yeah, they've got no chance in this game. 2-0 Chelsea.
Andrew, I think you're going to go the same way as Regan, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to... I think Chelsea will destroy them, man. I think Lukaku's going to just do it on Arsenal, just run through them like a hot knife through butter. 3-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm going Chelsea win 3-0 as well, actually. Spurs, with that many players missing, yeah, you can't compare that. You can't compare that to Chelsea score like that.
I hope Eric Dyer's fit. I'd love to see Lukaku just absolutely boying Eric Dyer.
That'd be class.
It would be really fucking class, actually. Gentlemen, that is the end of the show. Thank you very much for taking time out, and thank you to Doug earlier to coming in. Now he's doing his live stream on his channel. So, yeah, well, it's really been entertaining, hasn't it, guys? Enjoyed it.
Always is.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun to slag off the North London clubs as always and revel in Nottingham Forest miseries at the minute. So that's certainly done the system a lot of good. But yeah, it's been very fun. And obviously, guys, if you're listening, if you're not subscribed already, what the hell are you doing? Hit the subscribe button now. Turn notifications on. This channel's got a long way to go. There's going to be a lot more exciting content coming. So over to you guys.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that, gentlemen. And that is the end of the show. And we'll do some more recording next week, those guys, because I am back in Huddersfield. But I'm not doing it on Tuesday because I will say this soon. It is going to be a happy birthday to my mum, who's going to be 60. Yeah, she's not getting younger, but she looks young in everyone sees her. But no, I want to say this personally, and I really enjoyed it as well tonight, you guys, and especially this last weekend because I'm going back over tomorrow. I can relax for most of the week since I'm off work. So thank you very much to you guys, and thank you to everyone who watched in, and we'll see you again next time. Take it for now. Bye-bye.
Jeez.